Hello everyone, this is Snigdha Gupta from Heel Couch. Today we are going to talk about 13 fascinating facts about your subconscious mind. So enjoy the video and write, comment and share it. Number 1, mental specs. How much information can your brain store at any given point of time? After movies like Limitless and Lucy, you might think your mind has infinite possibilities. Your brain is one of the most complex structures of the universe, yet you still manage to lose your keys or to forget someone's name after meeting them a dozen times. So, what exactly is our brain capable of? If it were a computer, what would be your mental specs? The average brain has about 100 billion neurons. Each neuron connects to about 10,000 other neurons, resulting in 10,000 synapses per cell. Every synapse passes the electrical signals around the brain, which tells your body how to do stuff. Now, it might help to consider each synapse like one data point. Every signal is basically 1 or 0, total about 1 quadrillion ones and zeros. In other words, your brain works as fast as a computer that processes 1 trillion bits per second, and we have not even started talking about memory. A few years ago, it was figured as to how many bytes your brain can hold. It comes out to 1000 terabytes of data. That's 100 times the size of the US Library of Congress. Of course, most of that power is hiding below the surface. About 95% of your brain activity is completely subconscious. So the next time you lose your sunglasses when they are sitting right on your head, unfortunately remember that you've got a lot more going up than just your realize. Number 2, absorbing data. Do you really need all that power? How much power does your brain need to process simple information? You probably heard that you only use 10% of your brain. That's really true. Any neuroscientist will tell you that it is not true. We use the vast majority of our brains on a daily basis. We are constantly jumping from hemisphere to hemisphere, lobe to lobe, and that does not mean each part of our brain is always performing at its best. Every second, our subconscious mind takes in 2 million bits of data. That sounds like a ton, but remember, your subconscious is capable of processing a million times more than that. Well, our conscious mind is usually working in overdrive, and our subconscious can handle just about anything you can throw at it. Number 3, cognitive randomness. Have you ever been sitting at home watching TV when some person you hated years ago randomly pops up into your head? To your conscious mind, these thoughts come out of nowhere, and sometimes that they do, but not every random thought is completely meaningless. Neuroscientists call these intrusive thoughts. They tend to infiltrate your mind when you're zooming out. Some are even funnier thoughts like, would dog ever wear pants? Others can be dark and creepy. Even if some creepy mental image shows up right before you just fall asleep, it doesn't mean you are in a terrible person. Every person's mind wanders to strange places. There's only one reason to take them seriously. If you find yourself having the same thoughts over and over again, then your subconscious is sending you messages. Number 4, hates questions. Your subconscious likes to add questions. It is not designed to analyze and have opinions. It's often compared to a computer or a robot because, in many ways, it acts like one. As important as the subconscious is, we will be an absolute mess without our subconscious. We need that part of our brain to make us rational, analytical, and objective. Number 5, subconscious symptoms. Sometimes your subconscious mind speaks to your body. When it's frustrated or distressed, it triggers all kinds of physical symptoms. You might notice a rash or a pimple pop out of nowhere, or maybe your joints start randomly aching. These are some of the most commonly misdiagnosed symptoms because there is no illness involved. It's all your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious controls pretty much everything in your body. When it malfunctions, several of its functions go off the rail. For example, your brain may subconsciously tighten your gut or abdominal muscles, increasing or stop producing digestive hormones because stress induced stomach aches. Yet people more than likely to blame something that they ate. 6. Imaginary danger. Our subconscious has a hard time distinguishing what's real and what's imaginary. A study in the late 90s tested this by asking two groups of people to play the piano. The first group actually touched the piano instrument, and second, just imagine they were playing. After scanning the participant's brain, researchers developed the subconscious could not tell the difference between the both of them. It reacted the same way on imaginary notes as it did in the real one. No one in the second group actually believed that they were playing the piano. So how do we tell the difference? This is where your subconscious comes into play. It analyzes all the information your subconscious takes in and then decides what is and what isn't real. Now, of course, our conscious mind cannot always make a clear distinction. That's why fear and anxiety come from imagined danger. Imagined danger can be terrifying while the subconscious reacts it like it's really happening. When your conscious brain sees your body freaking out, sometimes getting fooled into thinking you really are in danger. Number 7, unresolved fatigue. When life is moving a million miles per hour, even 8 hours of sleep might not feel enough. You will find yourself less productive or having a harder time concentrating. The quality of your work starts to suffer. Try as hard as you want and try and fix it, but no amount of conscious effort can fix the subconscious issue. You feel drained like this when there's a deeper problem lying to be resolved. While your subconscious mind is trying to be productive, your subconscious has been working overtime and is exhausted from keeping that issue affecting your life. Take a break, the only solution. So focus on your mental health. Our brains are not designed to work 24 by 7. Some of the most ambitious people start stuffing their brain with some problem deep down, but these issues can and will leak back into your conscious mind, leaving you feeling cloudy and tired. Number 8, subconscious repetition. Your brain absorbs massive amounts of information every single second all day. To make sense of it all, one needs some way to differentiate between things that are important and things that are extraneous. Repetition is your brain's one of the most important useful tools when deciding what to pay attention to. It's actually pretty much simple. The more you perceive something, the more priority it gets. It applies to everything, including people or subjects in school. Affirmations are best examples. At first, they do not do anything, but when repeated every day with feeling, each repetition reinforces the idea. The brain starts to dedicate more and more space until finally the affirmation is important enough to change your behavior. But repetition is just not for the healthy things in life. Repeated fears and those negative emotions are ingrained in your subconscious. You might tell yourself that you are not scared, but your subconscious will quickly tell you otherwise. Number 9, the power hours. Unlike your conscious mind, the subconscious does not go to sleep when you do. In fact, it does more work when you go to bed. Conscious uses those and 8 hours to catch up on the processing that it could not do during the day. So while you are lost in the dreamland, your subconscious is wide awake. This is one of the reasons why our dreams tend to contain memories and information stored in our subconscious. While you're sleeping, your subconscious has full control. Your dreams are often a blend of automatic thoughts. Most of the time, they are just random slices of your imagination of time and times that you can learn new things. Number 10, cognitive chunking. Since our subconscious is handling huge volumes of data, it needs something to organize, some way to organize. Our conscious, if needs something at a moment's notice, isn't going for our subconscious to make sense of it all. So our subconscious uses time managing technique called chunking. Chunking is often when you do it in groups, you group pieces of information together in the memory. The closer that they are, the easier it is to do. Think of it like a search engine bar where you start typing and it shows all kinds of related shortcuts to speed up the process. In other words, your subconscious gets you into a habit of what you think before you even think of it. Number 11, premature development. The reasons why children act so innocent is because they have not yet developed that consciousness that adults use every day. Instead, they primarily use subconscious functions, so they cannot distinguish between real and imaginary. Our consciousness does not develop until we are around 9 years of age, but our subconscious grows most from 2 to 7 years of age. In other words, you spend the first decade of your life doing whatever your subconscious told you, living in the present. Number 12. Your conscious has no problem thinking back to your past or picturing the future. Your subconscious, on the other hand, isn't nearly as flexible. It's constantly focused on living in the present. It will always lean towards your actions, which help you live there, here and now. Sometimes that can be a good thing, but more often than not, you need your conscious to give you some sense of perspective. Number 13, speech deficiency. Your subconscious does not communicate in the same way as your conscious does. It cannot really use words because it does not have that processor. The subconscious relies on images and feelings to get its message across. This is another reason why conscious is easiest to understand when you're dreaming. After waking up, you cannot often make sense of what exactly happened. You had somehow seen the emotion as clear as day. Thanks.